Heart story. Sarah Thompson, a young nurse in her late 20s, had always felt a special connection to the hand-stitched quilt her mother had made decades ago. The quilt, vibrant with colors and intricate patterns, had been a constant presence in Sarah's childhood home. Recently, while helping her mother clean, Sarah noticed something unusual: hidden symbols and numbers stitched subtly into the fabric, unlike anything she had seen before. Curiosity sparked, Sarah gently examined the quilt, tracing the threads that seemed to form a secret code. The realization dawned that the quilt might be more than just a comforting heirloom; it could hold clues to a story her mother had never shared. The emotional weight of the discovery filled Sarah with a mix of excitement and apprehension. She knew that unraveling the quilt's mystery could reveal truths about her family and their history, and perhaps change her life forever. Intrigued by the mysterious symbols on the quilt, Sarah began to document each stitch and pattern meticulously. She noticed that some symbols resembled dates, while others looked like coordinates or initials. The more she studied, the more convinced she became that her mother had woven a secret message into the fabric. Determined to uncover the meaning, Sarah started researching the dates and initials, cross-referencing them with family records and local history. Each discovery led to new questions. Why had her mother hidden these clues? What story was waiting to be told? Sarah's nursing background gave her patience and attention to detail, skills that proved invaluable as she carefully pieced together the puzzle. The quilt was no longer just a family keepsake; it was a map leading her into a hidden chapter of her family's past, one that promised to change everything she thought she knew. With each new symbol deciphered, Sarah felt herself drawn deeper into a story woven with love, sacrifice, and secrets long kept. The quilt was transforming before her eyes from a simple heirloom into a vibrant tapestry of hidden memories and untold truths. She shared her discoveries with a close friend, whose encouragement gave her the confidence to continue. Sarah knew that the journey ahead would not be easy; it might uncover family tensions or forgotten pains, but she was determined to see it through. The weight of responsibility mingled with hope, as Sarah realized the significance of her quest. This was more than a personal journey; it was a chance to heal wounds and reconnect with a past that had shaped her family and, perhaps, the entire town. With renewed resolve, Sarah folded the quilt carefully, ready to follow the clues wherever they might lead, knowing that what she found next could shock everyone she loved. Armed with her notes, Sarah began visiting locations hinted at by the quilt symbols. The first stop was the old town library, where she hoped to find records corresponding to the dates and initials stitched into the fabric. There, she met Mrs. Ellis, the longtime librarian, who remembered Sarah's mother and was intrigued by the young nurse's quest. Together, they pored over archival documents, uncovering references to a forgotten community event that had deeply impacted the town. Sarah's journey took her next to a small neighborhood cafe, where an elderly man recalled stories about her mother's secret involvement in a local movement. Each encounter added pieces to the puzzle, revealing a side of her mother Sarah had never known, one filled with courage, compassion, and quiet heroism. With every new discovery, Sarah's determination grew stronger. The quilt's clues were leading her to truths that would reshape not only her family's history but the town's legacy as well. As Sarah followed the quilt's clues, she uncovered stories that had long been buried beneath the town's surface. The dates and initials pointed to a time of hardship and resilience during a turbulent period in the community's history. At a local historical society meeting, Sarah met residents who shared first-hand accounts of her mother's quiet acts of kindness and bravery. They spoke of secret meetings, sacrifices made to protect vulnerable neighbors, and a grassroots effort to bring about positive change despite opposition. Some community members were hesitant to revisit these memories, fearing that old wounds might reopen. Yet Sarah's sincere dedication gradually won them over, turning skepticism into support. Each new piece of information deepened her understanding of her mother's legacy, not just as a nurse but as a symbol of courage and compassion. The town's history, once hidden, was coming alive through Sarah's relentless pursuit, promising to unite and inspire those who heard it. With each revelation, Sarah's resolve strengthened. The quilt was not just a family keepsake but a beacon guiding her through untold stories of courage and sacrifice. She felt a deep responsibility to honor her mother's legacy by bringing these stories to light. Sarah began documenting interviews and collecting photographs, creating an archive to preserve the history for future generations. Her nursing background gave her a unique empathy, allowing her to connect deeply with those who shared their memories. Despite challenges and moments of doubt, Sarah remained committed to the journey. She understood that unveiling these truths could change how the town saw its past and how it healed old wounds. The quilt's intricate patterns had led her into a world of hidden bravery and compassion, transforming her understanding of family and community. Sarah was ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that her discoveries would shock the town, and hopefully inspire change. As Sarah delved deeper into the quilt's secrets, she uncovered a story that had remained hidden for decades, a story of sacrifice and courage during a difficult chapter in the town's history. The quilt's patterns corresponded to places and events linked to a grassroots movement led by her mother and others, advocating for justice and equality. When news of Sarah's discovery spread, it shocked many in the town. Some were unaware of this chapter of their history, while others had deliberately kept it quiet. The revelation stirred mixed emotions: pride, regret, and a desire to confront the past honestly. Sarah found herself at the center of a community grappling with its history. The quilt was not just a family heirloom but a powerful symbol of resilience and change. Her journey was becoming a catalyst for the town to face uncomfortable truths and move toward healing. Sarah sought out the town's elders, hoping to learn more about the movement her mother had been part of. Many remembered those turbulent times vividly, stories of secret meetings, protests, and the personal risks taken to fight for justice. Some elders shared painful memories of discrimination and division, while others expressed pride in the quiet bravery displayed by Sarah's mother and her peers. Their recollections brought the past to life, painting a vivid picture of courage amidst adversity. However, not everyone was ready to embrace these truths. Some families had chosen silence to protect their reputations, creating a fragile balance between remembering and forgetting. Sarah's discoveries challenged this delicate peace, forcing the community to confront its own history. Through these conversations, Sarah realized the importance of honoring both the triumphs and the scars of the past. The quilt story was a powerful reminder of the resilience that had shaped the town's identity. As Sarah absorbed the elders' stories, she felt the weight of generations resting on her shoulders. The quilt was more than a collection of symbols, it was a testament to her mother's bravery and the town's complicated past. The revelation stirred a mix of emotions throughout Cedarville: pride in the courage of those who fought for change, but also discomfort in facing truths long buried. Sarah knew that sharing this story could reopen old wounds but also believed it was necessary for genuine healing. She committed herself to being a bridge between the past and the present, using her nursing compassion to foster understanding and dialogue. Her goal was not to divide but to unite the community by acknowledging the pain and celebrating the resilience embedded in their shared history. Sarah's journey was far from over, but with every step, she moved closer to transforming a hidden legacy into a source of strength and hope for all. With the weight of the quilt's secrets on her shoulders, Sarah knew she had to share the story with the town. But revealing the past was not easy. Some community members resisted, fearing old wounds would reopen and disrupt the peace they had built. Undeterred, Sarah organized a public meeting at the community center, inviting neighbors to listen and share their feelings. She spoke openly about her mother's courage and the hidden history stitched into the quilt. Her vulnerability touched many hearts, sparking honest conversations. Not everyone was convinced, but seeds of understanding were planted. Sarah realized that healing required patience and persistence. She reached out to local leaders and activists, seeking allies to help bridge divides and promote dialogue. Though challenging, Sarah's efforts began breaking down barriers, encouraging the town to face its past with empathy and hope. The quilt's story was no longer hidden, it was becoming a catalyst for change. Despite Sarah's sincere efforts, reactions in the community were mixed. Some residents welcomed the truth, expressing gratitude for shedding light on a hidden chapter of their town's history. They saw it as a chance to heal and grow together. Others, however, were resistant, uncomfortable with revisiting painful memories. They feared that reopening old wounds could reignite divisions and disrupt the fragile peace. Some accused Sarah of stirring up trouble. Undaunted, Sarah remained committed to fostering understanding. She facilitated small group discussions where people could express fears and hopes in a safe space. Through these dialogues, empathy began to replace suspicion. Sarah also worked with community leaders to promote inclusive events celebrating the town's diversity and resilience. Slowly, barriers started to crumble, showing that even difficult truths, when faced with compassion, could lead to unity and renewal. Over time, the community began to embrace the importance of confronting its past. Shared stories and collective remembrance events helped heal old wounds, fostering a renewed sense of belonging among residents. Sarah witnessed neighbors bridging divides, engaging in open conversations, and supporting one another with newfound empathy. The town's history, once a source of pain and division, transformed into a foundation for growth and unity. Efforts to preserve local heritage gained momentum, with the quilt becoming a symbol of resilience and courage. Sarah's dedication inspired many to look beyond past grievances and work together toward a hopeful future. Though the journey was ongoing, the progress made signaled a community ready to honor its past honestly and build a stronger, more inclusive tomorrow. Sarah felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing her mother's legacy was helping to heal not just her family, but the entire town. As the truth unfolded, Cedarville began a journey of healing. Sarah organized community gatherings where residents shared stories, acknowledged past wrongs, and embraced forgiveness. These meetings became a safe space for expression and understanding, allowing old wounds to slowly mend. Families once divided started to reconnect, remembering shared values and hopes. Sarah saw firsthand how compassion and honesty could rebuild trust and restore relationships fractured by secrecy and silence. The quilt, once a symbol of mystery, had become a beacon of unity. Through collective efforts, the town honored those who had suffered and celebrated resilience. The healing process was ongoing but marked by sincere commitment to change. Sarah found solace in witnessing transformation, realizing that confronting painful truths was essential to moving forward. Her mother's legacy lived on, not only through the quilt but in the renewed spirit of Cedarville's people, united by love and forgiveness. Healing was not without its challenges. Some residents struggled to let go of old grievances, and moments of tension occasionally surfaced during community gatherings. Yet, Sarah encouraged patience and empathy, reminding everyone that healing is a journey, not a destination. Workshops and counseling sessions were introduced to help people process emotions and build better communication. These resources provided tools for understanding and reconciliation, allowing deeper connections to form among neighbors. Gradually, barriers began to fall as people embraced vulnerability and forgiveness. The town's renewed commitment to unity was evident in everyday interactions, from shared meals to collaborative projects. Sarah felt hopeful, seeing Cedarville transform from a place of hidden pain to one of open hearts. Her mother's story, stitched into the quilt, had become a catalyst for positive change, showing that even the deepest wounds could heal with love and courage. As time passed, Cedarville's residents grew more united, their shared history becoming a source of strength rather than division. Sarah witnessed families rebuilding trust and neighbors forming new friendships grounded in understanding. The quilt, once a symbol of hidden secrets, now represented resilience and hope. Community events celebrating their journey toward healing became frequent, fostering a spirit of togetherness. Sarah's leadership and unwavering dedication inspired many to embrace vulnerability and compassion. Though challenges remained, the town's commitment to forgiveness and growth was steadfast. The legacy of courage woven into the quilt had sparked a transformation, proving that even the most painful past could lead to a brighter future. Sarah found profound fulfillment in seeing her mother's story ignite change, knowing their collective efforts had laid the foundation for generations to come. With healing underway, Sarah and the community began to look forward. They created programs celebrating resilience and courage, inspired by the stories uncovered through the quilt. These initiatives fostered education and awareness among all ages, promoting values of empathy and bravery. Sarah spearheaded efforts to preserve her mother's legacy by collaborating with local schools and cultural organizations. Workshops, exhibitions, and storytelling events became part of Cedarville's new identity, inspiring residents to embrace their history and build a better future. The quilt itself was displayed in the community center, a tangible reminder of the town's journey through hardship and healing. Sarah felt proud to see how a personal family heirloom had sparked a collective movement toward unity and understanding. The legacy of courage woven into every stitch of the quilt became a guiding light, encouraging Cedarville to face future challenges with strength and compassion. Sarah's dedication to honoring her mother's legacy extended beyond Cedarville. Invitations to speak at regional events and community gatherings poured in, giving her a platform to share the powerful story woven into the quilt. Her message of resilience, truth, and forgiveness resonated widely, inspiring other towns to explore and confront their own histories. Grants and partnerships emerged, supporting cultural preservation and community healing projects inspired by Cedarville's journey. Sarah worked closely with educators and historians to develop programs that integrated these lessons into school curriculums, ensuring future generations understood the importance of courage and empathy. The quilt, once a private family treasure, had become a symbol of collective strength and hope. Sarah's efforts helped transform a personal discovery into a movement that fostered unity and growth across the region. As Sarah reflected on her journey, she felt a profound sense of purpose. The quilt had not only revealed family secrets but also ignited a passion for healing and connection within her and her community. This legacy of courage inspired her daily. Sarah committed to nurturing this spirit by mentoring young people, encouraging them to embrace their own histories and face challenges with bravery. She believed that understanding and compassion were the foundation for lasting change. Community projects flourished under her guidance, from art installations to storytelling festivals celebrating resilience. The quilt story had become woven into Cedarville's identity, a testament to the power of truth and love. Sarah looked forward to a future where families and communities could grow stronger through openness and empathy. Her mother's legacy, stitched into every thread of the quilt, would continue to light the way. Cedarville began to blossom with renewed hope and unity. Murals depicting stories of courage and forgiveness appeared on walls, turning the town into a living gallery of resilience. Public gardens thrived, tended by neighbors who once barely spoke to one another. Local schools incorporated lessons about the town's history and the importance of empathy, inspired by Sarah's discovery. Younger generations learned the power of truth and reconciliation, planting seeds for a more compassionate future. Community events flourished, celebrating diversity and shared values. Sarah saw the impact of her efforts reflected in smiling faces and open hearts. Cedarville was no longer a town divided by secrets but a community united by understanding and love. The quilt, once a symbol of mystery, now represented the town's transformation, a testament to the strength found in embracing the past to build a better tomorrow. Sarah's story captured attention beyond Cedarville, inspiring nearby towns to explore their own histories with honesty and courage. Invitations to speak at regional forums allowed her to share the powerful lessons embedded in the quilt story. Community leaders began collaborating, organizing events focused on healing and unity, inspired by Cedarville's transformation. Grants and donations flowed in to support cultural preservation and educational programs that celebrated resilience and empathy. Sarah partnered with schools and nonprofits to develop workshops teaching the importance of confronting difficult truths and fostering compassion. The quilt became a symbol of hope and courage, reminding everyone that the past, no matter how painful, can lead to growth. Through these efforts, Cedarville's legacy extended far beyond its borders, becoming a beacon for communities striving for healing and connection. On a bright spring afternoon, Cedarville gathered in the town square for a celebration marking a new chapter in their history. Lanterns and banners adorned the streets, while music and laughter filled the air. A mural depicting scenes from the town's journey, from hardship to healing, was unveiled, symbolizing unity and resilience. Community leaders, including Sarah, spoke about the importance of facing the past with courage and compassion to build a better future. The quilt, once a private family treasure, was displayed prominently as a symbol of strength and hope. The town's renewed spirit was palpable, marked by a shared commitment to honesty and love. As the festivities drew to a close, Sarah felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Cedarville was no longer defined by secrets, but by the courage of its people to embrace change and move forward together. Years after the quilt's secrets were revealed, Sarah stood in Cedarville's community hall, reflecting on the incredible journey that had transformed her family and town. The once quiet place was now alive with stories of courage, healing, and hope shared by generations. Sarah spoke passionately about the power of truth and forgiveness, encouraging others to face their own histories with bravery and compassion. The legacy of her mother's quilt had become a symbol of resilience, reminding everyone that healing begins when secrets are brought to light. She emphasized that moving forward required ongoing commitment and empathy, fostering a community where every voice was valued. The quilt, displayed proudly in the hall, served as a constant reminder of the strength found in unity and honesty. Sarah's story had become more than a personal discovery, it was a beacon of inspiration, guiding Cedarville and beyond toward a future built on love and understanding. Sarah's story reached far beyond Cedarville, inspiring other towns and communities to explore their own hidden histories. Invitations to speak at conferences and local events provided her a platform to share lessons about courage, forgiveness, and the power of uncovering truth. Communities began organizing similar projects, using storytelling and historical preservation as tools for healing and unity. Grants and partnerships helped fund educational programs focused on empathy and reconciliation. Sarah collaborated with historians, educators, and activists to create resources that would ensure these lessons endured for future generations. The quilt's symbolism grew, representing not just a family's legacy but a movement toward transparency and compassion. Through her efforts, Sarah helped spark a regional wave of healing, proving that embracing the past with openness could transform lives and communities for the better. As Sarah gazed at the quilt displayed in Cedarville's community hall, she felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. The hidden stories stitched into its fabric had transformed not only her family but an entire community. Turning to the camera, Sarah shared a heartfelt message: no matter the secrets we uncover, it is the courage to face them with love and openness that brings true healing. I hope our story inspires you to embrace your own truths and find peace. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. Join us as we continue to explore inspiring tales of discovery, forgiveness, and growth. Thank you for being part of this journey. Together, we can build a world rooted in understanding and compassion.